I've been a Vistage member for 6 years now, and I joined to have a better network of CEOs that we could share ideas with so we can compare notes, figure out HR problems, and talk strategies with people that could be objective.
What do you like best about your Vistage experience?
The presenters, excellent presentations, and I also like when we do issues processing. The feedback you can get or you can give is been real insightful and allows you to think, even though you're processing somebody else's issue, and makes you think about other company issues that you can apply it to on your own company. So whether you're processing somebody else's issue or you're processing your own issue, you get some pretty good and dynamic feedback that you can usually apply. So, because we're all going through, frankly, the same things.
Okay, you with your managerial, style. What are you doing differently now that you didn't do before?
What I tend to do differently now than before Visage is take more of a CEO kind of I wouldn't say sit back, but try to not be involved in the day-to-day operation, but try to work on the global strategy and the global operation and be comfortable with delegating to, the key executives in my company and trusting that they'll do what they do. And I think another big issue has always been coming home is having people be accountable and keeping them accountable and being clear on what you want them to be accountable with. And then practicing that over and over, because it's very easy to play, the caretaker role and have your ego fed by everybody trying to give you or come to you for the answers. And it's just, and I've always done it to some extent and rely on everybody else to come up with their own answers. And then Vistage kind of reinforces that over and over to have your staff come up with the suggestions, have them work the issue, have them, work autonomously and independently, and then come back with the results.
Great. What's profound about your Vistage group? Anything about your thing about the individuals and that? What stands out?
The most profound thing about my Vistage group is their level of humor and the ability they have to drink a lot.
I go back to that. That's good. All right. So what do you like most about your partnership? Your membership? Issue processing, speakers, host reviews, the website, or webinars. What do you like best when you think about this? What do you find valuable?
I think the most valuable two things are three. I like the host reviews because you can really dive into what other people are doing in their business and how they set up their business and how their company structure is and how somewhat their accounting practices are. And then, they're not the same as what we do maybe in construction, but, there's a lot of similarities. So you can kind of pick the best from different types of businesses that would work for your own business. And then processing issues are always entertaining and fun and insightful, and the host presentations are usually, class A. Usually you would have to go to the Bay Area, go to a seminar, pay a lot of money, but you'd have to do it on your own, but you don't get the benefit of dialoguing about it or even coming back the next month and saying, oh, that speaker or this speaker, and kind of having other people keep a constant flow of what you learned, because as in any seminar, the guy talks for 3 hours, and if you can catch 30 minutes of it and retain 30 minutes as you leave, it's difficult. You make your notes, but it's always great for other people to hold you accountable or bring issues up, or hey, remember this guy said to approach it this way and this guy said to approach it that way. So it allows you to have a greater ability to review and retain what you've learned.
Was the continuity helpful? I mean, having the continuity, once a month you were getting together to work on your business?
Yeah. What you gain from the monthly interaction, first of all, is camaraderie with each other, and then you get kind of a trust factor going. And you're not starting from scratch each time. You already know what somebody's issue is, so you can always take it to the next level. Versus if you just go to a consultant or you have somebody come in to do an assessment of your company, you're really, the first 2 days you're starting from scratch. Well, here you may be on your 12th day with the various companies. So you're going to have a lot more continuity. You're going to be able to build on it each and every time.
You were in a tiger team. Tell us what a tiger team is, and was that valuable for you?
So I had an issue in our company that I was wrestling with, and I wasn't sure how to resolve it. I wanted to get other input. So I called the tiger team, brought them to lunch, went to just a restaurant in Salinas. And I think there was 6 of us. Well, I think it was like 4 Vistage member, Derek, and myself. So yeah, a total of 6, and laid out the issue, and and then
Vistage meeting outside of the Vistage meeting?
Yeah, so it wasn't a one-to-one. It wasn't a regular Vistage meeting. It was a separate meeting. And I tell you, for the cost of lunch, you can get a lot of wisdom from a lot of people and a lot of perspectives, and then you can actually dialogue and hone it down. And then what's even better after that, since these 4 people or 4 or 5 people helped you with it, you can go back and then, as other issues might come up, which mine was kind of an ongoing situation. So other issues that we didn't cover come up, well, you can just call 1 or 2 of them or email them and kind of say, hey, this is kind of the way it's morphed a little bit. What do you think about this or that? Well, now they're up to speed, so they know exactly what you're talking about. So you have a kind of a CEO inner circle. And, this is stuff you just can't talk over with, staff members in your company. If you talk to an attorney or an accountant, they may be close to your company, but their businesses are a little, the thought processes are different than CEO thought processes. So, so that's what you get out of doing a tiger team on a specific issue.
What does it mean to you? It's lonely at the top.
Yeah, I actually have a pretty good company. I actually have a real good set of people that have been with me for so long that I would say they're pretty frank, pretty honest. They've been with me, some of them for 30 years. So, I got a pretty good team that gives me some pretty straightforward feedback. And I've actually hired people that have had their own companies before. So they know what it's like to be in the hot seat. But if you don't have that, you don't really have anybody you can go to. You can't go to your paid employees and get an honest opinion. If you have people who are about ready to retire, you get a lot of honest opinions from them. You'll probably get good, straight advice from them. But if you don't have that, you need to have a CEO network. You need to have other CEOs that could give you a candid approach, candid opinion.
How has the chair been helpful to you? Whether holding you accountable, would talk about you 6 years later. What would they say, how you've changed or how you've adapted? What have you learned? How are you a different leader?
You can show up in my office and visit them. They probably say, where is he? Why doesn't he ever show up anymore? Because he delegated everything.
What's delegation mean to you?
You give them the assignments, or you let them come up with the assignments, and you figure out what results they want to achieve, and you say, go for it. And I have had a few people quit because of that, and I have people that thrive because of that. And I'd rather have the people that thrive than the people that quit. But I did use on some people the, what do you think? Tell me what you would do. And they basically told me to stop playing that game. Other people in my company that are still there are, hey, this is what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to do it. And frankly, those people I spend very little time managing because they're self-managed. And that makes my job a lot easier.
Andrew, you're a very busy man. You've got a lot going on. Why do you take one day a month out of your work schedule to be at this group?
Honestly, I have to work. I take the time out once a month because every time I leave Vistage, I realize how much I get out of it. And it's a struggle to go every time because I have a list of reasons not to go, or to cut out half the meeting, or to cut out, a good section of it. But when I don't do that, and I go, the rewards are significant. I get something out of every meeting. I get multiple things out of every meeting, whether it's on the one or the company profile portion or the speaker profile.
That's great.